Hi, Martha here. This is the second part of my fall mixed media fox project, and this first part of the video is just me coloring in my fox. I'm using Posca pens, and I'm also using Faber-Castell markers. I tried to use some colored pencil too, but it wasn't going well over this cardstock. I guess it's just too smooth. So I wound up, it just didn't show up, so I abandoned that part. I think I need some paper with some more tooth or something, or maybe the marker made it too slick or something. I don't know. It just wasn't working here. And it usually does, but it wasn't here, so like I said, I abandoned it. And so this process is just me coloring in my fox, and you will see that how I keep fiddling with it with the markers and the paint pens. And I think I also go in there with a paintbrush too to do the some of the white. But it keeps changing even after it dries. Like later on, I just keep seeing things I want to change, and so I wound up being pretty satisfied with the results of the fox. But I hope you will enjoy the rest of this. I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit. Well, not fast forward. I'm going to speed it up a little so you don't have to sit here and watch every tedious moment. So I hope you will enjoy. Thank you. Okay, you just saw me color in my fox. And here's how he turned out. Looks pretty good. But I'm gonna glue him and my pumpkins down. If you watched my earlier video, you know these pumpkins were a lot bigger. But now I'm gonna glue them down and start adding, after they dry, start adding some details. And I think I'm just gonna, well, you know what? I might be able to go ahead and use that craft bond so I can have an easier time moving it around if I need to. So I think I'll just use my finger this time. I don't have one of my little cards handy, and I really need to clean this space. It is a mess. Okay. I think I want it right here. And I want my little fox to overlap it a bit. Maybe like that. All right, let's put the fox down and see how he looks. Just like doing sometimes projects like this, it's kind of easier to make the things you like and just get them positioned easier without, you know, having to redraw everything. Okay, I'm gonna put him down, but I'm gonna leave this because I want this one to be under him. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it behind him. Okay. Let's get my little cloth so I can press it down easier. May have to add some Fabri-Tac anyway, just to make sure that it's down good. Okay, now I think I'll add that right there. I wanted to show you, this is pretty similar, but you'll find this printout along with a printout with just the fox by itself in a couple of different sizes to use for whatever you'd like to. So you'll find that on my Google Drive, and you'll find it in the description. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and use some Fabri-Tac. Okay, I'm going to continue gluing this, and when it dries, I will be back and we will start with some of the details, and we'll figure out what to do with the leaves. Okay, be right back. Okay, here's where I am so far. I got everything glued down. Probably should have just used a matte medium, but I'm kind of low, so I guess either forgot about it or trying to conserve it, maybe both, I don't know. But anyway, I went around each pumpkin with a darker color to try to make it, you know, the bumps in the pumpkins and the lines. And I did the same with the tree, but I think what I'm going to do with the tree, I'm going to see how it looks. And I went over it with my Faber-Castell markers, and so they're water-based, India ink. So I'm going to try to just, it might be too dry, but try to just make my tree a little darker by going around it here. I want it to be opaque, and I might have to do this a couple of times till I'm satisfied with the color of it. Just going around where I laid down the marker. I don't think I'm going to do that with the pumpkins. We'll see. This is still feeling my way through this, how I want it to look. And looks pretty good. Maybe should be slightly darker. Not sure yet. So I'm going to go on each branch where I outlined it. Try to spread some of that color around. Might go over it with some paint, I don't know. Get some of these other elements done, and then I can decide. So instead of tracing it, I could have just done this to begin with. Probably. But like I said, I'm just doing this kind of intuitively, since I've never done it before. This particular piece I haven't done before. So I just don't. I'm trying to figure out how I want it to look as I go. Alright, I think I will leave that part alone for now. And, okay, let it, see if it needs anything else. Now, what I think I'm going to do, I need to draw some stems for my pumpkins. So I'm going to make one like that. And that's probably too wet right there. So I think I will just... Now, I guess maybe I will color them in green, since there's already a lot of browns and oranges. There's actually a lot of greens too, if you consider the background. But I wanted to tie in a little bit better. That's not been started yet. Okay, I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit, give it a little texture. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of this teal color in there. While this is drying, I'm going to go around my elements with some black to make them stand out. A little more. And I think I'm going to go around the lines too, and the lumps. Just give it a little more to stand out. Now I'm going to do it for this one. And I'll be back when I get it all outlined. I got to wait for my tree, and then we will finish up by adding some leaves and some more little glitter pumpkins and things like that, and some highlights. So I will be back. Please stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. My neighbor interrupted me. She needed a ride because her car wouldn't start, but I just went ahead and spread around some more blue, left some green showing, so it kind of just unifies the color a bit. But what I think I want to do now is try to go in with some lighter paint on, let's see how this works out. I want to make, not cut, well, that's a little too dark, I think. But, okay, that's darker than I wanted. So, let me see, how can I make this lighter? Well, let's try a little pink. This is a little lighter, maybe. Just want the pumpkin to pop, the purple pumpkin to pop out a little more. So I'm putting on some lighter purple. The pink, I think, is probably, I don't know, I might try a pink highlight. There, you can still see some of the original color, but we got some, make it pop out just a little. Let's try also some pink, see how that goes. Yeah. I think I need to let it dry a little bit. This color works nice. Just give this pumpkin a little bit of a, bring it out a little bit. So the paper just adds another layer and another dimension. But you can still kind of see the paper underneath the paint. Now, this one. I do wish I could find that ivory color. There it is. So let's see. So I need to probably go over with a coat of Mod Podge and then come in with these colors because it will show up a little better, be a little brighter. Now I will go in. Let's see, this is a kind of a brighter. Instead of going dark, let's go bright and see how that looks. That's pretty good. Now let me see if I got a darker, I have a dark brown over here. Just add some deeper shadows there. I think it needed some after all. Now this will pop out more after it gets a coat of Mod Podge. I'm going to go over this one with some brown too. Make those crevices a little bit darker. Okay, I like that. Now, I want to go in, let's see, some of this green and add some darker lines just to look like it has a little texture. And pop it out from the background a little more. right, I think that's probably it until I get some Mod Podge on it, and then I can go over it with some lighter colors and it will show up better, I think. But anyway, it's looking pretty good. So I think I am going to go ahead. I'm gonna add some more pretty leaves. I got these at the 99-cent store. And I'm just gonna scatter them around in different places. So let's get out my Fabri-Tac and see if this will come out. It's getting thick on me again. But let me see if I can poke a hole through the tip. And I thought this could use a little more green. Lighter green. But I think I'm gonna have to wait. All right, I also found, oh, it's coming out nice now. So let's, I think there are orange, red, and gold. Let's see. I think that's all the colors there are of these leaves. So I'm just going to try to cluster each one of them. Mix them up a bit here and there. I think I'm liking that. Okay. I also found some things at the 99-cent store that I wanted to add. Okay. There's some. These are like these foamy things with glitter, and these are acorns. And this is a pumpkin. I know I'm going a little nuts with the glittery, shiny stuff, but hey, I like it. And I think it's fun. Gonna cluster it around my pumpkins. Let's see, I think I'm gonna add one of these little pumpkins. Come on. Look at that string of glue. Yeah, I'm gonna add it there anyway. Okay, so I am going to turn it upside down. Okay, that's a nice dollop. So I'm just kind of arranging them around the tips of the branches. I had 3 here, 1 there. Just wherever I think it will look good. Okay, you saw how I got it started, the gluing. So I will come back when I get that done, and I will Mod Podge it. I will finish gluing the leaves and Mod Podge it, and see if it needs some more highlights. And I'll come back and show you the finished result. Hello y'all, I'm back with my finished piece. I think I left you where I was just gluing on these leaves, but I've done a lot to it, and I didn't film most of it because, you know, I didn't really know what I was doing, how I wanted it to look, and so I just didn't want to leave all that on film. I would have recorded 2 or 3 hours of footage, and my phone can't handle that. But anyway, I'll try to remember what all I did and share it with you. As you'll remember, I used some scrapbook paper to do my pumpkins. You can't really tell it now, I've added so much paint to it, but it did give me a base to start with, and it helped me decide how to do them. The background was a little too dark with me for me, so I kept fiddling with it and playing with it until I kind of got it to a color I like. You can't really see any details of the scrapbook paper, but like the pumpkins, it gave me a base to work with. And my tree never was dark enough, so I kept going over it, went over it with some paint and markers. You can still see the scrapbook pattern through there, which I really like. I added some glittery, there's a pumpkin and acorns. These are little glittery foam, I think they call them table scatter. I got those at the 99-cent store. And these leaves are just confetti or table scatter too. And I just thought they were pretty and added them to my piece. So this background has several layers of paint. I went in over it with a little bit of white paint mixed with, I think it was matte medium, to thin it down and just try to lighten things up. But I didn't really get satisfied with it until I brought this part forward. I put these leaves around it, and it kind of pushed the tree and the sky back a little bit and helped this focal point pop out. So I went over, I never did use a paintbrush except for when I was adding, I think earlier I added some of the blue over the scrapbook paper, and then I used a paintbrush to add some of the white and matte medium to just try to get it a little bit lighter. But for the rest of the elements, I just used Posca pens, and I used my Faber-Castell markers. Kept going over this with different browns. I even think there's an orange in there too, a little bit. And so I added lighter greens and yellows. Yellow helps lighten up the green so you can see it a little better. And when I got everything in, I noticed there wasn't much more purple. There wasn't any purple, and I needed it to be unified. So I just dabbed a little bit of purple here and there in the background, and then drew in some purple flowers, which I think really finishes it nicely. And I went around the edge with black paint. If you remember, I started with already used canvas, and it had black paint around the edge, so I just continued with this theme. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know, I would think I might be happier if the background showed some of the elements of the scrapbook paper I laid down as a base. I might be happier if you could see that a little better, and if this background was just a tad lighter. But I was afraid to get too light and not be able to see anything. However, I think it turned out beautiful colors, so I'm not mad about that. And so this is my mixed media fox with scrapbook paper and cardstock and table scatter and confetti, a little bit of everything. The only thing it doesn't have, I guess, are the gems. Excuse my heater, it just popped on. But so maybe one of these days I'll be able to record a whole process so you can see it all, but let me see if I can show it a little more close up. Okay, and remember, in the description box you're going to find a link to the fox pattern. There'll be 3 different versions. There'll be this one. There'll be a couple of foxes of different sizes, so you can print out and use them however you want. And thank you for watching. If you stuck around this long, please let me know. Thank you.